Are you setting up an online course or thinking about it? There are some key parts of your setup that you might be overlooking. Today, I'm going to be diving into 5 key parts of your online course setup that you might not know about or might be neglecting. If you don't know me, my name is Kayla Droog, and I love helping small business owners create more time and efficiency so they can focus on serving their clients and growing their businesses. So, before we dive into these areas of your online course setup that you might not know about, I just want to preface all of this by saying, 1, you do not have to do all or any of these things if you don't want to. Number 2, you do not have to have all of these things at the same time. So these might be things that you work your way up to over time, and that's totally okay. Okay, so the first thing that I encourage you to consider when it comes to an online course is your video. Now, there are many things that we are going to talk about within this umbrella. The first thing to think about is how you are going to record your video. So you may record it through software directly on your computer. You may record it through your phone. That's how I record my videos. Or you may have a video camera. None of these are right or wrong, and you can use whichever one you want to, whichever one you have access to, and you can always change it later. Now, you probably are not going to record a perfect video in one sitting. Wouldn't it be nice if it worked like that? So instead of taking a bajillion takes to try to get that perfect video in one sitting, you're probably going to need to edit it. And this means you're going to need some sort of editing software. Again, when you're getting started, if you already have editing software built into your computer, which most computers have, just use that. You can always get something fancier later. And especially when you're first getting started, you probably don't need a lot of fancy editing and graphics and things like that. So don't worry about those things. Do what you need to do to get your videos together. And again, you can always update them later. Now, some things that go along with videos that people can often overlook are things like captions or subtitles and transcripts. So captions or subtitles would be like the subtitles of your video, and then transcripts would be the full transcript of the video that someone could potentially download and read if they prefer to do that versus watch. Transcripts are definitely something that are optional. If you want your content to be more accessible, then transcripts are a good idea. But I at least recommend that you have captions or subtitles if at all possible. If you are uploading videos through YouTube to start, then you can always edit your own subtitles and then your videos are accessible that way. Or there are also transcript and caption programs that you can use where you dump your video in there and it auto generates them for you, and then you can add it to your video file. Now, I know I may have just lost some of you right there, so I'm sorry if that's the case. I might go into different options for captioning softwares and things like that in a later video, but that's not really what I want to dig into today. But if you have questions about it, please let me know. One of the things to think about with your video is how you are going to host it. Depending on where you're hosting your course, you may be uploading video directly to that course platform. Or if you are in your early days, you may not want to invest in a course platform at this time. So if you're doing a little bit more of a basic or DIY approach, you may be using a free platform that doesn't have a lot of storage capacity, or you might be using something like YouTube or Vimeo. If you are using some sort of hosting platform, I highly, highly, highly recommend before you purchase it, you find out how much storage capacity your subscription gets you, and the maximum file size for each file. I had a client who paid for a year's subscription to a specific platform to host their online course. And then after that purchase and after the return date, they discovered that the platform's maximum storage capacity for their subscription wasn't big enough for the course that they were trying to upload. And they basically had to just scratch that subscription and get an entirely new one to a completely different platform. I do not want that to happen to you. So please do your research. And if the website is vague, reach out to them before you pick your platform. Choosing your online course platform, which platform you go with, is really not that important of a decision because a lot of them are comparable and switching between platforms is fairly easy. But I do encourage you to look at the maximum video capacity because for most people's online courses, that aspect is crucial because most of the content delivery, at least with the people I work with, is happening through video. So the next aspect of your online course that you may need to consider is your branding. So depending on where you are at in your business, you may not have clear, professional, defined branding at this point. And that's totally okay. But you may want to think about the branding that you want for your online course. Because if you throw something together and you're not happy with it, this could lead to a ton of work down the road where you have to re-record everything because you don't like the branding that you used on your original slides. Now, this is completely up to you because yes, I want you to get this done in a timely manner and not spend time messing around on graphics and using that as an excuse not to record videos. But take a little bit of time and think about the aesthetic that you are going for. So it's not just your slides and your handouts that you have to think about, but some of the things that people forget that they need graphics for are thumbnails and the branding on your course platform and your landing page. So don't spend a huge amount of time, but spend some time thinking about how you want these things to look. Again, they're not set in stone. You are not stuck with them forever. But if you can think about it just a little bit ahead of time, it might save you some time later. I know people who have spent hours and hours and hours messing around in Canva and places like that, agonizing over colors, agonizing over shapes and graphics. And to be honest, this sounds like something I would do. It sounds like a great way to waste time. Don't do that. The next thing to consider is your website. How is your website going to connect to your online course? So depending on what platform you go with, there may be built-in landing pages directly in that platform, but chances are you are still going to be mentioning your course somewhere on your website, even if your full landing page is elsewhere. So on your website, you're either going to need a page that directs people to that landing page on that other platform, or sometimes the landing pages on other platforms are not as sophisticated as what you could get on your own website. So you may want to bypass that and just have the landing page directly on your website. But either way, you are going to need a landing page somewhere to convince people to buy this course. I wish you could just tell them it exists and they would just start signing up for it. But again, does not work that way. You're going to need a sales page that convinces them. And if you don't like the term sales page, I just mean a landing page that walks them through what it is and what the benefits are and why they want it. No matter what level of salesiness you have, you are going to need that. And again, this is going to take time to design. You may need some more graphics. You're definitely going to need the language, the copy that is going to be on this page. And don't overthink it. Don't let this be the thing that holds you back. but definitely put some time into putting yourself in the buyer's shoes and thinking about what they are going to be looking for and the benefits that are going to convince them that your course is the thing that they need. The next thing that you might not have considered is something that is completely optional. And this is your course going to have some sort of community component? Now, a lot of online courses are completely designed to be do it yourself at your own pace, and there is no community component, and that is completely fine. But if you think you would like some sort of community component to your course, then you have to consider what that's going to look like. And again, this could be a thing that you add further down the line. Don't spend time on this right now if you don't want to or need to or have that time. Now, this could be something as simple as a Facebook group. If you are concerned about ownership when it comes to social media, I completely understand. There are other platforms that you could use to have a community, something like Mighty Network, or there are so many options. This may also be something that is included in your course platform that you already have. For example, Thinkific has the option to have a community area at a higher subscription level. So you'll have to weigh what you're looking for in terms of community capabilities with what's available in different softwares and what your price point is. It might be cheaper to upgrade the course platform that you already have rather than pay for a subscription with a completely different software. Or it might not. Or you might have a free option somewhere, and that's great. So think about what's going to work best for you and your budget and your users. And again, you can always change this. I'm in a membership that just changed from a Facebook group to a completely different platform, and they just told everyone and told them how to migrate over, and it was fine. So you are not stuck with whatever you pick now. The next thing to think about when it comes to your online course, and this is not optional, is how are people going to pay you? So if you are using a course platform, there is likely a way for people to pay you through that platform. They are going to take a cut though. If you don't want people to be able to pay via credit card, or you want to avoid the platform taking a cut, then there are ways that you can bypass that platform and have people pay you a different way. You'll just have to figure out how you give them access. So, for example, there are course platforms where instead of people signing up on that platform and paying and then getting instant access, you have to add them to the course for them to get access. So you can make sure they're paying you somewhere else before they get access. This is going to create more work for you though, so you'll have to decide if it's worth it. If you want to route them through somewhere else, maybe your CRM platform or something like that, then you'll just have to figure out how that works for you and your individual course. And again, if you want to talk more specifics and bounce ideas, let me know. Another reason why you may want to bypass the course platform, and again, I'm not advocating this, this is just another reason why, is you may want to have some sort of welcome automation. This could look many different ways, but you might have people enter a workflow where they pay. If you have some sort of contract or agreement they need to sign, they could receive that. And then maybe after that point, they would receive an email with a link to access the course itself. This is going to look different for everybody. Maybe what you really need is just to have the people who buy your course through your course platform added to your email list automatically. And again, that's an automation that is easy to set up as well. Some of the more popular course platforms integrate directly with some of the more popular email marketing platforms, or you can use something like Zapier to connect them if they don't speak directly to each other. There are options to make your life easier and make things more automated. You know how excited I get about that. And then the final thing to consider is your sales funnel process. Whether sales funnels make you feel icky or not, you are going to need some sort of funnel to get people from being a lead to actually purchasing your course. And you may want to create some upsells that you can offer them when they are on that checkout page to try to push them along even more and increase that sale. So there are many options for how to do this. And if you're just starting out, I recommend you find something simple, maybe a freebie to get their foot in the door, and then a sequence of emails to talk to them about who you are and what you do and what kind of value they would get, and then maybe offer them your course at the end of that. And if you have maybe a smaller digital product or smaller offer, that can be an upsell at checkout to encourage them to add a little bit more to their basket. So again, doesn't have to be big, doesn't have to be complicated. You can add more later as you grow. So I hope that this checklist has helped you figure out if you are missing anything in your online course creation process. This is by no means an exhaustive list. And as I said, you do not have to do all of these things if you don't want to. These are just different areas that you might have neglected. So I hope that you have found this helpful. If you have any questions, please comment below or reach out to me. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you know someone who would benefit from this video, please share it with them. I will see you soon.